So, what was Mendel's famous pea plant experiment? Mendel bred together pea plants that always produced white flowers and pea plants that always produced purple flowers. He found out that all of the offsprings of this crossbreeding had purple flowers. This is because purple is the dominant trait. Next, he bred together the purple flowered offspring from the first experiment. Over many repeated experiments on thousands of pea plants, he found out that though both parents had purple flowers, 25% of the offspring had white flowers because of a recessive gene or a trait that was present in both parents. Mendel formulated the laws of heredity based on his experiments. So, what were the theories of inheritance that came after Gregor Mendel? The theory of inheritance was established in 1860s as a result of Gregor Mendel's classic experiments with the garden pea. However, Mendel's work gained worldwide acceptance only after his death. His work was also evolved into a science that was named genetics in 1805 by an admirer of Mendel, William Bateson. Mendel's theories were integrated with the chromosome theory of inheritance put forward by Thomas Hunt Morgan, and they became the core of classical genetics. In 1911, Thomas and Morgan stated that genes are found in chromosomes, and later his student Alfred Sturtevant put forward the idea that genes are arranged in lines on chromosomes. Let's look at an amazing fact about chimp and gorilla. Your genome is 98% similar to chimp's genome and 97% similar to that of a gorilla's. Let's look into what were the early experiments done on DNA. In 1931, Frederick Griffith discovered that dead bacteria could transfer genetic material to transfer bacteria that were still alive. This phenomenon was called transformation. In 1944, Oswald Theodore Avery, Colin MacLeod, and Maclean McCarthy identified DNA as the molecule responsible for transformation. Further experiments confirmed that DNA is responsible for inheritance. At that time, Morris Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin were using X-ray diffraction to study DNA. Francis Crick and James Watson used their findings in their own research. In 1953, Watson and Crick published the scientific paper titled Molecular Structure of Nucleic Acid. In 1962, Watson, Crick, and Wilkins were awarded Nobel Prize in Medicine. Why are James Watson and Francis Crick important names in genetics? In the early 1950s, scientists had learned a lot about genetics, but they still didn't understand the structure of the DNA molecule. Two brilliant scientists, James Watson and Francis Crick, met at Cambridge and quickly learned that they had the same passion for solving the DNA structure. They both had similar ideas as well as on how the problem could be solved. Using stick and ball models, Watson and Crick tested the ideas of how the DNA molecule might fit together. In 1953, Crick and Watson were able to put together an accurate model of the DNA structure. The model used a twisting double helix shape, and this discovery was a giant leap forward in the field of genetics.